आदत रग रग में है, जीत की आदत, ऐसा हुनर दुश्मन भी सलामी दे। तू सूरज हम तेरे उजाले, तुझसे जुदा नहीं होने वाले, आखिर तक हम सफर तिरंगे के।
Esteemed guests, respected dignitaries, and all the beautiful souls gathered here today. It's an absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to this special occasion of Felicitation program, where we come together to celebrate excellence, achievements, and the spirit of perseverance. My name is Sanrakshak, an educator in OPSC Wallah, and with me, my colleague 𝐒𝐿 is there. We are deeply humbled to be your host for this special occasion.
Let's extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Sri Raghuvar Das.
Our chief speaker, Honorable Sanjeev Bhatta sir, former State Election Commissioner, Odisha. And welcome to all officers. So it's an immense pleasure that all my students, those who are comfort to this our Felicitation program, and especially I would like to give a special welcome to our honorable guest members. So what I wanted to say regarding our Physics Wallah PW, so I have to say that the very foundation of Physics Wallah is by Aayush Pandey sir, a man who revolutionized your educational learning in India. PW aims to create a supportive and inclusive learning environment for the students, especially Physics Wallah focus on cultivating the critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving skills. So further, Physics Wallah prioritize the value of value-based education system and making it universally accessible. This is by providing affordable course price that certainly enable all sections of society. Today, apart from JEE and NEET exams, Physics Wallah also involved in other government exams, especially your UGC and PG exams, civil service exams, both in the UPSC and your state PCS category, and also the prestigious defense category also. Today, it's an immense pleasure to announce that Physics Wallah has crossed its YouTube channel, which was started by 𝐒𝐿 in 2014 and has crossed approximate 9.75 million subscribers and own the million trusted heart with the national level recognitions. So what I wanted to say, the very revolutionary process in the EdTech platform, it is the initiative taken by the 𝐒𝐿. So it is basically to educations accessible for all strata of the society. So this is this is all about our this PW's total introductions, and I would like to thank you all of you. Now I would like to inspire us further. I would like to invite our honorable chief speaker, Honorable Sanjeev Bhatta sir, to share his valuable words with our new generations.
Good morning, Honorable Chief Guest, Justice Raghuvar Das, my good friend and younger brother Prakash Mishra, Mr. Ashutosh, Mr. Sanrakshak, and all others who have been selected to different streams of civil services like, as I am told, Odisha Administrative Service, Odisha Cooperative Service, Odisha Labour Service, Odisha Finance Service, and Odisha Revenue Service. That is what I have been told. And you are, I have also told that you are yet to report to your duty. You have not yet formally joined, but just selected. I was told by Mr. Ashutosh I should confine to maximum 25 minutes to half an hour, and accordingly I will try to finish. you are now going to join a responsible stream of civil service, under which the most responsible and challenging job is with the Odisha Administrative Service. In every stream of service, you face a lot of challenges. And when you face a lot of challenges, you have to face it with humility, dignity, and with a sense of commitment. These three attributes cannot be compromised. If you compromise your humility, you will look to be an arrogant bureaucrat. If you lose your commitment, you lose interest. And if you lose your dignity, then you compromise with quality. So, you have to be very sure. And what are the challenges? They call it with different slogans. Digitization in administration, maximum governance with minimum government, etc. etc. In the beginning, people who have been selected will join different trainings, because for every service there must be, I presume, there must be a training center and duration must be 6 to 9 months. I only request to each one of you to take the training seriously and try to understand what is being imparted to you, so that will give you a lot of input to learn. But before that, I like to remove some of the common notions prevalent among the new entrants. And you have to be very careful to distinguish one from another. In our state, in Odisha, it has a lot of peculiarities. There's a lot of peculiarity because out of 314 blocks, 120 blocks are notified as scheduled blocks, meaning thereby in each one of the blocks, population of scheduled tribe is more than 50%, and this is notified by the President of India on the advice of the state government. Here in this area, normally we say in administration, civil administration, maybe cooperation, labor, we should be maintaining total neutrality. I very politely beg to differ from this proposition. You cannot be neutral in an area where large number of subaltern people live. Because they start with a lower base compared to an average city. You have to be proactive in favor of the tribals in the scheduled tribe. If you become neutral, well, you are not doing justice to them. I'll give you a very interesting example from a renowned literator and father of Odisha. I am not father, great novelist of Odisha, late Gopinath Mohan. Well, he was a deputy collector. He was vested with magisterial power and he was working in Pura. For any type of forest offences or any offences, it will be imposing a fine of 10 rupees. To a better off person, a non-tribal, will be imposing 8 anna to a tribal. This is called proactiveness. You have to have you should have an inbuilt bias in favor of the tribal in a scheduled tribe area. Second notion, you have to distinguish between mistake and mischief. In course of discharge of your duties to all is human, you will be committing a number of mistakes unknowingly because of your less appreciation of the law, rules, or less experience. That is part of it. To some extent it can be appreciated and pardoned. But if the other element, it is a machine, it is a deliberate design to commit something wrong with your full knowledge, with your full sense, and that is definitely unpardonable and cannot be equated with mistake. Third, during our days, naturally I will give example from my days of civil servant. There is nothing like visiting a place. In the age of digitization, whatever remote control, whatever remote knowledge you get in a district or in an area or in a subdivision, that cannot substitute. You are directly coming in interaction with the people at large and visiting the place, appreciating the problems and mixing with them and knowing their problems. You can feel. When a government servant is said to feel the pulse of the subletter, of the common people, he has to go and mix with them. If you say I get all my feedbacks in a remote manner through in a digital process, that will never substitute your direct interaction, face-to-face interaction with the people, which means you have to do, as we were doing, a lot of doing, visit the people, talk to them and get interaction with them. Fourth, you can substitute everything. You cannot substitute experience. A person's of 25 years experience and a person's of 3-year experience cannot be equated. See, experience gives a bundle of knowledge, bundle of information. Information and knowledge are two different things. A number of ideas and you learn. Whatever training you have been imparted, you will be imparted. That is just the beginning. The best training you go by, you will get by discharging the duties. Then there is another thing which cannot be substituted. That is your honesty. Yesterday I was telling to Sangram as well as to Mr. Aayush. You must have heard the name, the great Indian, Sir Visvesvaraya. Have you heard? Was a great technocrat, was a great civil administrator, he was the man of Mysore state. He was brought by Pandit Nehru to Delhi to be the advisor to the government of India. On concluding his term in government of India, as usual, press reporters surrounded him and asked him many questions and asked him, so what will be your message to the new generation of participants? He smiled and said, well, I don't know how to answer your question. Only thing I will say, you give me a dull person, I will make him diligent and active. You give me an idiot or a less knowledgeable person, I will make him knowledgeable. But if you give me a dishonest person, I cannot make him honest. I just cannot make him unless he wants. What I am making, honesty and ethics, these are two different things. Honesty is your commitment. Ethics is your dedication to your job. In course of discharging duty, you may commit some lapses, or make some lapses, but as long as you do it sincerely and with good sense of honesty, it has no substitute. Just like experience doesn't have substitute, honesty and ethics do not have substitute. Your perception may be wrong from your colleague, but as long as you believe it with a sense of dedication and honesty, well, conclusions may be different, but nobody can question your commitment. But it is easier said than done. It is difficult because there will be a lot of pressure at the receiving end, just above you, at the top, as well as in the mid-level. there will be a lot of groups of vested interest. You have to carry the team with you. And the team leadership calls for sobriety and commitment. In this exam, you have to give credit to your team members instead of appropriating everything. I'll give you an example which I heard from late our president, Kalam. He was delivering a talk here in Bhubaneswar. He said when he joined ISRO, they worked under the leadership of great Satish Dhawan. He said, we are just, when I say we, I am just quoting him. He said, we are just learners, we are beginners, we are committing many mistakes. And he used the word, but not mischief. In the process of learning, many mistakes were being done. First time, when they tried to send a satellite, that was a failure. And Mr. Satish Dhawan said, nobody will open mouth except me in the press. Press people started attacking the scientists about the failure. This is the first beginning, this is very. He said the entire responsibility is upon me, not upon any team member. I was guiding them. If it is a failure, the failure should be ascribed to only one man, that is me, not to any one of these people, any of my scientists. After a couple of years, when the satellite was launched with all success, again he said nobody will open mouth except the leader, the press reporter. They asked, the wonderful things are under your leadership. I said no. He said no. It's a team effort. The credit goes to everybody in the team, not to me alone. This is called true leadership. When there is a failure, it is the leader of the team, he should take up the responsibility. When there is a success, he should share it with all the members of the team instead of arrogating that everything has been done by me and nothing by others. So, late President Kalam said, this is how we learn from such a great man. Because the failure when it was there, it is because of our inexperience, but he took the entire responsibility upon him. And when the success was there, it is because of his guidance. But he said that no, lest we may say that he said that lest the other scientists may say this was due to the great leadership of great men, Dr. Satish Dhawan. He said none of you will open mouth. I will say. And he said the credit goes to the entire. This is the test of good leadership. And you have to carry the team with you. There you inspire confidence among themselves. And that will help them. That here is a leader who is really taking us and sharing the success and failure. And failure is taking upon himself. Success is sharing with all of us. And we teach. When you go and jump to the large field of civil administration, maybe in any stream. Now, particularly in Odisha Administrative Service, or in that such any other service, you have to be sure about the laws and rules. Unless you have a full grip, you will be misled and may be committing a lot of unintended mistakes. Mistakes will be done, but mistakes which are avoidable should be avoided, and that calls for a sound grasp on the laws and rules and the various government orders and circulars relating to the laws and rules. Then only your mistakes which are bound to be there can be reduced to the minimum and nobody will question. The other ethos in civil administration is a very difficult proposition, which very difficult to make a combination of hardness and politeness. In your decision, you have to be very hard but polite. The moment you become arrogant, that is your weakness. and people will try to cash up. In the case of gender sensitivity, yesterday only I was telling to Sangram and others, our female officers, particularly in civil administration, are in a much more empowered position than compared to their male counterparts. You may be amused to hear it, but it is not. Women have been empowered in the civil society. To tackle a group of women who raise their voice, maybe on a very right against the power party or against the state or against the administration. It is a woman officer who can handle them more successfully than the male counterpart in this sense that she can go inside their house and talk them mousy, try to understand what which you cannot. Nobody will object a woman officer going inside the inside apartment of a family household to talk to the mothers and sisters. Please desist from this agitation. Government will take note of your point. That cannot be done so easily by a male counterpart, because people will question who gave you the right to enter. They may put the same question against a woman officer and woman magistrate, but tone will be different because of this gender sensitivity. That you have to appreciate yourself. And in this case, I am quoting you 2011 census of Odisha. You know exact number statistically difficult for me because I may commit error. It was 900 something vis-a-vis 1000. For every 1000 male, 980 or something, I'm not very sure. The number of female. Alarming position. Can you tell me, invariably, I underline the word, invariably without exception, in certain districts of Odisha, it is just the reverse. 1028, 1029, 1035 female for 1000 male. Can you tell me which are the districts? All tribal districts. All the tribal districts, 4 divided districts of Koraput, 5 blocks of Palathamni, Kandhamar, Mayurbhanj, Sundargarh, 𝐒𝐏𝐿, all tribal districts, the gender equation is in favor of the women compared to the men, which speaks a lot. And anthropologists have analyzed they don't have any gender bias. Presently, in the context of Odisha, I would say, there are large number of vacancies. You know, in police department, one average police personnel works for more than 15 hours. How do you expect his efficiency? The dictometry, he should work for 8 or maximum 10 hours. And why they are doing it? Not out of love, there are vacancies. Vacancies galore everywhere. This is not your mistake. It is the mistake of the power that we, or the policy makers, or the, cabinet, or whatever. That is everywhere. Everywhere, and very often the policy they take are not only wrong, not only obnoxious, but injudicious also. I will give you one example of the Odisha state government, much to your embarrassment. Closing primary school where this number of students is less than 20 or 30 something number. It is a heinous crime for tribal area. Tribal area, the average population of a village will not be more than 100. Villages are located apart. How do you expect there will be so many number of schools? Unless if you close the schools in the tribal subplan area, doing a lot of injustice, that means you are forcing them to remain illiterate after a certain level. So many, the bureaucrats, you have to raise their voice before the government. This is is a wrong policy. Very often political masters they do on the advice of the government. Very often brokers do on the basis of a feedback without applying. That's why I told you from the very beginning in the tribal area, you have to be proactive, you shall not be neutral. These are the few canons or few things out of my own experience I wanted to share with you. I thought it will be more than 1 hour. If you want to ask any question, I will go ahead and answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable words. बहुत ही पॉपुलर लाइन मुझे कहली सर जोटा कि बहुत इंप्रेसिव लागला. That is what experience never be changed, never be substituted. I hope ଆମର जो ऑफिसर्स माने आसीचंती न्यूली अपॉइंटमेंट पाइचंती से माने एई किछड़ा को आगु को इंप्लीमेंट करबे तांकर सर्विस लाइफ रे. एंड आउट पॉपुलर लाइन सर मते बहुत इंप्रेसिव लागला. दैट इज व्हाट कि to make a mistake that is not a mistake, to repeat a mistake that is a mistake. So life रे mistakes जदी होची, so don't be bother on that. So please ताको एडमिट करे अपने ट्राई करबे ताको केमती आगु रिपीट न करे से इनको ट्राई करबे. So that's a very impressive line, and thank you very much, sir, for your valuable words. So to inspire us further, we now invite our guest of honor, Sri Prakash Mishra, sir. Please come to the stage, sir.
Thank you so much. Dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Justice Raghubar Das, a very iconic figure in Odisha bureaucracy, most respected Sri CHSL, Samrat Babu and Ashutosh Babu and others of Physics Wallah group, and all the young friends who have just got into service. My very hearty congratulations to all of you for having succeeded in your exams and getting into the, I think, dream that you had cherished long ago. And I wish you all a very happy and prosperous career in your new life in the government. After what Sanjeev has said, I don't think I can add anything more to that, because I think his experience here already told you about the various problems and issues which, as a government servant, you will be facing and how to cope with them. I think, as you said, it's a subject on which I think we could talk to you much more, but I think it's best is to learn as you grow in the service. So you will see challenges before you, you will find ways to resolve it. When Samrat Babu asked me yesterday to come and address you, I just couldn't think of anything to specifically add to what Sanjeev Babu has said, but two things which really struck me, I wanted to share with you. The first is, I think of late there has been a tendency, sir, that government, once you get a government service, there is a Niyukti Mela, and I think appointment letters are handed over by the, which wasn't there in the past. To me, somehow it appears that it is something which basically signifies that I have appointed you. But please forget that. Nobody has appointed you. You have got into this service because of your own merit, your own capability, your own standing, your own hard work. So nobody has appointed you. Even if someone gives you a certificate, it doesn't mean that you are serving him. That brings us to the question of a committed bureaucracy. What is a committed bureaucracy? A committed bureaucracy to some means that you are committed to the powers that rule. I think that is something which I think has been discussed, and you must have also read it during your, that you are committed to the cause of the ruling party. You are a committed bureaucrat. But I think you have to somehow change or have a different perception. What to me, commitment would be basically commitment to the Constitution of India. I think that is the first thing that you are committed to. The second commitment that you should have is your commitment to the people. Why do we add the word service after everything? Odisha Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Administrative Service, Indian Foreign Service. I think we forget that service part. The service is the service of the people. So I think the commitment to the people should stand at the forefront, and we don't feel that you are serving someone. You are serving the Constitution and the people of the country. And the next commitment is to your conscience. I think you should do what you feel is correct, and what you feel correct, you might feel that making money is the correct thing. I think, but the correct definition would be you should do something which, if you are asked why you did it, you could defend it in any forum. I did it because of this, and you should have the courage of conviction to say that I did it because of this. This is how I felt. This is what my conscience told me, and so that these are the three things which I would mean by commitment to your service. The second thing which I think which would be of relevance and which has really I've been thinking about this is about the concept of power. I think once we enter into a government service, I think all of us think that we have become very powerful. I think as DG, I am a very powerful man. Sanjay Babu was the Home Secretary. He had very important positions. I think he was a very powerful man. Similarly, Justice Raghuvar Das, just Judge of the High Court, he could deliver judgment. He is a very powerful man. So what exactly is this power? Actually, if you see it, it can be both viewed in a very negative concept as well as a very positive concept. But very sadly, I think most of us have been really enjoying the negative aspect of power more than the positive aspect. A peon in the secretariat is powerful because he has the means of access control. I think if somebody comes to meet an officer, his first interaction is with the peon. So he would basically decide who is to be allowed to meet the particular officer and who is not to be allowed for whatever consideration. So that is his power. Similarly, a registrar in the court, I think he could be powerful because he knows which case to be placed where, and he is powerful. Similarly, as a policeman, I am powerful because I have got a power. I can threaten people, I can jail people, I can arrest people. So that is my power. So is this actually what is power that is good for the society? I don't think this is something which you should immediately get out of your head and basically dwell on power, what actual power is. What actual power is what Mr. Hutta just said about his visit to a particular place to find out exactly what has happened, why that man had misappropriated this money temporarily, and take a correct decision. I think, to my mind, that is actual power. I would also say that power is also your commitment to your men who work under you. That you are their leader and you should not let them down. I remember as DG of CRPF, we were, as you know, CRPF was the nodal force for fighting these Naxals everywhere in the country. We had done considerably well in Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and all. The worst state that was receiving our attention around that time was Chhattisgarh, where things were really, really bad. So everyone was concerned, right from the Prime Minister downwards and all. So the National Security Advisor, Mr. Global, called all of us and said that we must do something about it, and so it was decided. He perhaps thought that he would had a plan that and he called us and said that you have to move in more battalions of CRPF into that area. We already had about 30-40 battalions in that area, strategically deployed. He said move another 20-30 more. So I very politely told him, sir, I can't do this because the moment we move such large amount of force in that area, it would mean at least death of 100-200 people, which I will never allow. I will never expose my men to such risks. So he said, why? I said, movements by vehicles in those areas is extremely dangerous, and I would suggest that why don't you come and see that area once, because being in Delhi and perceiving what is the jungle welfare is totally different. So we took him to those areas, he saw it for himself, then realized what the problem is, and he agreed to what I suggested, and we did our operations as per our capacity and got a lot of success. And in fact, you are now hearing what kind of success Chhattisgarh has achieved. It's all because of the capacity building we started from that time. So, you would be facing many such situations where your senior, without knowing the ground realities, would ask you to do something, and you, as a young officer, would feel intimidated. If I say no, I will be in bad books of them. So have the courage to live to the to your men under you, what they expect from you. Don't let them down. I think that is the true quality. And true power is that, I would say. So then the other thing is true power would mean I think your capacity to help as many people as possible with whatever means you have. You must have yourself seen, I have also experienced, if you go in distress to a particular officer or something, many a times you get a very strange reply. I don't think file doesn't have legs. It can't walk on its own. If you need to do a file, you have to call for the file and do it yourself. I don't think file asu. How will it come if you don't ask for it? So this kind of attitude, I think, is I would say terribly wrong. I have worked with Sanjay Babu. I think he was one who never said that file asu. If he felt that there was something which needed to be done, you get it done. You say basa, he will get it done immediately. I think that is power. So you will have many such instances where people would come to you and they would ask you for your help. So don't try to delay things by saying that I will look into it. If you feel that you have been wrong and something can be done, do it immediately. The third thing is power is negative power again would be you cut yourself off from the people. You do not receive phone for telephones. You do not meet people because I'm a very big man. Why should I listen or take the phone calls of every Tom, Dick and Harry? Why should I meet everyone? This, I think, is again a very, very negative kind of thing. I have all along kept when we joined service, there was no cell phones or anything, but that landline would be always near our bed. Even in the dead of the night, you get a call, we used to receive it. Because if you are accessible, you are the people, and people also know that he is a man who can be easily approached. So that works in a very two-way connection, and it improves the confidence that the people have in you, and they would see that yes, he is someone who can be approached. Similarly, your subordinate should like to meet you. You cut yourself off, you are very powerful. If you listen to them, you feel that I am a simple man, he is a useless man, he can be approached later. I think that's the wrong attitude. Again, as many people as you meet, even your subordinate, I think they remain loyal to you for their whole life if you listen to their advances. If a man is in distress, even you are wrong, you immediately do something to redress his grievances. I think he is the happiest man in the world. Just listen to him politely. And so, I think these are a few things which I wanted to share with you. And I'm sure as you go, you will face many more challenges. In fact, life, administration, society is getting more and more complicated every day. So there will be a lot of, I would say, a lot of challenges before you. So you have to yourself develop your character, your attitude, your conscience to cope with those situations. And I'm sure that you will be successful in your career.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question is, earlier you told that being accessible is important, so that people will have a sense of confidence with you and they can rely upon you. But won't that make it, create a negative perception wherein they come with even petty things, simple things, and create problems?
No, that I think you have to accept it as an occupational hazard. There will be some cranky fellow, definitely. So, but you can easily make out, I think. I will tell you, my first district was Mayurbhañ, where I was SP, and I started getting letters from people saying that this is happening at this place, and so initially I took it lightly and didn't do anything. Then there will be letters saying that you are making money, you are not listening to us, like that. So I started acting on one or two information and found them to be absolutely correct. And once this happened, there was such wonderful flow of information that we could do a lot. So that is something which you have to accept. Thank you.
सर अपन बोले लीडर गोटे ब्यूरोक्रेट गोटे लीडर भी हवा दरकार सर तो मोर क्वेश्चन होची मो सबऑर्डिनेट मानको पे मु लीडर हेबी बट मु ज्यादा सबऑर्डिनेट ता सहित मैनेजमेंट आ जो प्रॉब्लम का मो सबऑर्डिनेट आ मोर ऊपर ऑफिसर सबऑर्डिनेट सहित ताळमेळटा केमि बसे
Boss management, I think, is a separate chapter. I think you need a one-day class on that. Boss management is a managerial concept, I think, which you can go to the YouTube and find many such boss management. There are many ways of making your manager boss. In the intelligence circle, they say that the best way to manage your boss is to make him insecure. Tell him a lot of lies that this is happening, this man is after you, so I am keeping a watch on him. So he will be extremely happy that yes, he is a very loyal fellow and he is doing a good job. And so massage his ego, tell him. So these are various concepts. I think you have to find out what works with your boss. So that is something which will go. But boss management, in fact, is quite a critical subject. And I would agree that the bosses now are more different than what we had. You have more difficult bosses now. So we have to work under people like �𝐴𝐴, I think a tribe which is getting extinct day by day. So good luck with handling your bosses.
The service of boss management is problem.
Not necessarily, I think. As I said, you have to always take a correct decision which you should be able to defend before anyone, including your boss. Yeah, I took this decision because of this. You should have that conviction in you that I can convince my boss that what I did was correct. So if you have that, I think.
So, any other questions? You want to ask them?
Sir, as you told that in your work in distance areas, so despite of left-wing activities and also political pressure and also corruption activity are going there, so how to ensure development in that areas? So how can you handle all that?
Actually, if you go to the genesis of this problem, I think even before the Naxalites came into picture, I think Sir was telling about Narayanpatna. Narayanpatna became such a hotbed of Naxalite activity that when I came back to the state and joined in intelligence, we had almost forgotten that that area existed. Nobody could go there. It was so bad. We didn't have the capacity. Even the roads and all were quite bad. Mined very badly by the Naxals, and the only way to reach there was by foot. If you took a vehicle or something, you would be blown up in no time. So that was the kind of situation which was going on. But I worked in Koraput in the year 1981, 81. I read SOSB. We could freely go to Patna and look there. But strangely between 80 and 98, this last 10 years, we did nothing to develop Nadu. It remained the same. So, in fact, if you had developed that area, built the local people into rich farmers or rich entrepreneurs or something, I don't think this problem would arise in the first place. So, development, the strategy which was being now adopted is to clear areas of Naxal and push in the developmental activity so that local people are empowered. The other thing which I always emphasize and I told at various forums is to basically encourage the local entrepreneurship. I think if you are building roads in the tribal area, let the contractor be a tribal. He may not do that job properly in the first instance, but at least he will not meet with the resistance of people. And the Naxals would think that he is our man who is doing the job. The school teacher should be a local fellow. So that I think that is something which we have forgotten. I think even now in Malkanagiri and all, you have contractors coming from Andhra Pradesh, from other areas. We have not done a bit to improve the entrepreneurship in that area. So development would be basically developing the entrepreneurial skill of that local population.
Good afternoon, sir. As a civil servant, how to maintain the work-life balance?
How to
Work-life balance.
Like you will get a lot of, if you in fact even in the most difficult of times, I found a lot of time to do my morning exercise, go for my run, cycling, play tennis. I could do anything. I can evenings spend with the family. So,
मंजिल उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है। मंजिल उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है। पंख से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है। And the moment we all been waiting for the facilitation of our stars of the morning. So give a round applause for our officers. Congratulations everyone for achieving our goal. So let's start the facilitation program.
Request our guest to felicitate the students. First, Amrita Sahu, rank 10. Clinton Sahu, rank 35.
देर की खामोशी है, फिर एक शोर आएगा। आपका तो सिर्फ वक्त आया है, हमारा पूरा दौर आया।
कभी ऐसी भी खड़ी थी, मुश्किलें आगे खड़ी थी, पर चाहते दिल में बड़ी थी। कुछ तो था ऐसा करना, सबके हालात बदलना और लेके साथ में चलना। बढ़ने की चाहत पैसों ने दबाई, जब जब हम सामने आए तब तब ये हाथ बढ़ाया सब तक। शुरुआत में सब कुछ खोया, दिल में होती थी धक धक, पर हार न मानी हमने, खुश चेहरे न देखे जब तक आए शून्य से अलग तक। हम शून्य से अलग तक, आए शून्य से अलग तक। हम शून्य से अलग तक। शुरू की बातें तुम्हें क्या बताऊं गाइस, वीडियोस पे आते थे बस 2 लाइक्स, पर इसी उम्मीद में बढ़ते चले हम कि ना जाने कब क्या कर जाए स्ट्राइक। एक थी एकेडमी जिसने मारा था ऑफर, बोला था रहोगे यहाँ सबसे ऊपर, पर मन में अपने कोई लालच नहीं था, बस निकालने थे खुद के पढ़ाए हुए टॉपर्स। मेहनत करी पर अकेले थे हम, व्यूज भी आ रहे थे काफी कम। कभी कभी लगता था ऐसे ही रहा तो कहीं सब कुछ ही ना हो जाए खत्म। फिर धीरे धीरे लोग आने लगे, हिम्मतें हमारी बढ़ाने लगे, कहने लगे क्या पढ़ाते हो आप, हम दुगनी स्पीड से पढ़ाने लगे। पढ़ने की चाहत पैसों ने दबाई जब जब हम सामने आए तब ये हाथ बढ़ाया सब तक। शुरुआत में सब कुछ खोया, दिल में होती थी धक धक, पर हार न मानी हमने, खुश चेहरे न देखे जब तक आए शून्य से अलग तक। हम शून्य से अलग तक, आए शून्य से अलग तक, हम शून्य से अलग तक। आज देखो खड़े हैं हम कहाँ पे, पहुंच नहीं सकते कितने जहाँ पे। सबको हमारी ग्रोथ का सीक्रेट है जानना, पर जानते नहीं कि चला प्यार यहाँ पे। जो भी दिया है सब तुमने दिया है, हमको इतना काबिल बना दिया है कि जिस घर में अब दिखता है अंधेरा, उस घर को हमने रोशन किया है। एक घर में स्टूडेंट नहीं, पूरी फैमिली अलग पांडे को जानती है। बेटे या बेटी की तरक्की के पीछे फिजिक्स वाला का नाम ही मानती है। अलग का कहना है ये बच्चों का प्यार है, बच्चे ही खुशियों का कारण है मेरे। यही जिंदगी में इतनी तरक्की करेंगे कि खुशी के आंसू बंद होंगे नहीं मेरे। कभी पैसों पर ब्रेकअप हुआ था, पर चाहने वालों ने मेरा हौसला बढ़ाया। 75 करोड़ के आगे बच्चों को चुना था, आज उन्हीं के प्यार ने हमें यूनिकॉर्न बनाया। यूनिकॉर्न बनाया, यूनिकॉर्न बनाया, यूनिकॉर्न बनाया। पढ़ने की चाहत पैसों ने दबाई जब जब हम सामने आए तब ये हाथ बढ़ाया सब तक। शुरुआत में सब कुछ खोया, दिल में होती थी धक धक, पर हार न मानी हमने, खुश चेहरे न देखे जब तक आए शून्य से अलग तक। हम शून्य से अलग तक।
Before winding up this session, I would like to give my deepest thanks to our chief guest, Honorable Raghuveer Das sir, former Justice in High Court of Odisha. Our chief speaker, Honorable Sanjeev Hota sir, State Election Commissioner, former State Election Commissioner. Honorable Prakash Mishra sir, former Director General of Police Odisha. Apart from this, I would like to give my sincere thanks to the PW management, to all the educators, those who are present here, and all the qualified candidates, those who have qualified OSSC examination last time, to their parents and all other guests and our honorable friends, those who are present in this session. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you.